90s dark slacker comedy, Dead Man on Campus, about these two roommates that are prone to get kicked out of college, come up with this very desperate plan to find what looks to them to be like a suicidal college student to be their roommate and hopefully do himself in. Uh, that way their teachers can give them better grades since they'll be in mourning. Now, this movie is really silly. Like as you've heard from the plot, it's very kind of like Throw a Mama from the Train, and almost like a cross between like sort of Kevin Smithish humor and Heather's from the late '80s. And that's the thing. I like dark comedies. Period. Like, is I like comedies and horror and drama and edgy type stuff. So that kind of have a mix with it, but have it be played in such a broad, like laughable way is interesting. And I like that Mark Paul Gosselaar from Saved by the Bell is in here, and Tom Everett Scott is it's nice to see him as a lead outside of American Werewolf in Paris because that's what I know him from. Um, yeah, I just think the movie is really wild. It gets silly and funny, and you just can't like you kind it kind of keeps you hanging. You can't wait to see like what's gonna happen next of the wild shenanigans of trying to get a death-prone roommate.
Movie was pretty good. I don't like comedies, but this is probably one of my favorites now, next to the Clerk films. The plot was pretty good, but one of their suicidal
Like options,
options was fucking insane.
yeah.
I would stay away from him. I wonder how much crack he smoked.
Yeah, and the one he's talking about is played by Lachlan Monroe. I forget his character's name in the movie, but he's also been in Scary Movie and Freddy vs. Jason. Yeah, and I would agree with that. He's like the nuttiest of their options, and then there's another guy who's paranoid, and yeah, like the characters are very colorful and interesting and zany all in different ways. And I think generally any cons of this movie, I mean, I could see people saying that this is probably like too dumb or just another kind of typical college comedy, but with a slightly darker plot. But I don't know. I mean, depending on how you like your comedy, if you like it light or semi-dark, and depending on like if you like college movies, period, then I would say this is for you. I would give this 8.5 out of 10.
I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I think if you just like just a good time, wacky, silly comedy that happens to involve a little death, then this is for you.